Hey everyone, so to start off this look, I'm taking my Nivea Aftershave Balm and I use this as a primer even though it isn't a primer. It's because since glycerin is the second most used ingredient, once you rub that really well into your skin until it's tacky, everything you put on top of it really sticks to it, so it's actually a really good primer. After that, I'm taking this foundation from Bobbi Brown and I'm using it with this Morphe brush. I don't have the number memorized, but all the information will be down below. Anyway, I didn't expect this to be good for foundation at all, especially once I applied the foundation onto my skin. But once I started buffing it in, it actually worked very, very well. I was pleasantly surprised. And you can see like how well it buffs into your skin, and it still makes it look like skin, and it's not like the foundation is sitting on your skin. It's kind of like blends more in with your skin. I think I said skin like 50 times in that one sentence. But yeah, so I applied 2 layers of that. I then went in with this MAC Studio Fix concealer, or Studio Finish, I can never remember the name, and I just applied that under my eyes all the way down to like the corner of my nose. To blend that in, I used this Real Techniques foundation brush, but it works really well for blending it in and it absorbed all the excess product, so it wasn't cakey or anything, and I love using it for concealer now. To set it, I went in with my Bobbi Brown's Creamy Concealer, and I just used the powder just to set it. I have extremely oily under eyes, so if I don't set my if I don't set my concealer right away, it will crease like instantly. Even sometimes when I bake, it still creases, like it's that oily. I then went in with the same concealer, the MAC one, and I just spot concealed wherever I had any pimples or any pigmentation that I did not want on my face. And when you blend it, be sure to tap it. I forgot to mention this also for the under eye concealer, but tap it, don't rub it, because then you're moving where the product is placed. Anyway, and then with Benefit's Wattsup concealer, I applied that on the highest points of my face, which is my cheekbones, a bit on my chin, my cupid's bow, some on my temples, and then my nose. And then with this blush from Makeup Forever, is this blush? No, this is the setting powder. It's translucent loose setting powder. I'm basically applying that wherever I didn't apply the Benefit Wattsup highlighter. If you have dry skin, you can just skip this step, but since I have oily skin, I need to set my foundation or else it'll crease like crazy. I then went in with this MSF in Dark from MAC, and I'm just using this as a bronzer and a contour. So I'm putting that right under my cheekbones and then a bit on the outer perimeter of my forehead. And then with this blush from Makeup Forever, I'm just applying that first on the apples of my cheeks and then I'm blending it back. For my face shape, I like to blend my blush back rather than just keeping it like 2 little circles on the apples of my cheeks. I think it just looks nicer. And once I apply the highlight, it looks nice because it's like a strip of highlight, strip of blush, and then a strip of bronzer. But it's like all blended, so it's not harsh, obviously. Anyway, I took that same powder from Bobbi Brown and I just kind of cut the contour a bit more. And then with Anastasia's Glow Kit in, I'm pretty sure it's That Glow, I'm taking the 2 shades that I pointed at and I'm applying that onto the highest points of my cheekbones. And with this fan brush, I spray one side with some MAC Fix Plus and then I dip that side into the product and apply it. And that side is wet, and then I keep the other side dry. And so what I do is I apply it with the wet side, but then I'll blend it out with the dry side. So if you see me flipping the brush, that's what I'm doing. I love the glow, it's so gorgeous. I then just sprayed my face one last time with some Fix Plus. Now for the eyes, I went in with these two shades from the Morphe 35W palette, and I'm using those two shades as a transition. So I'm putting it through my crease, and then with any leftover product, I dragged it like out so it's more of a winged shape. And then taking only the orange shade, I concentrated that mainly on the outer corners, and then as you can see again, I'm kind of flicking it away. And then with this orange eyeshadow from MAC, again I don't know the name, but all the information is down below. I'm just applying that on the outer corners once more, and then again blending it away. If you want to keep this eye look more rounded, you can totally do that, but I always do that, so I decided for a bit of a change this time. I then took this brown eyeshadow from Maybelline because I thought it was a bit too orange, and this kind of made it more neutral, so I just applied that in the same exact way I applied every other eyeshadow. Be sure not to apply so much at once. I mean, you want to work bit by bit, so like put a bit on, blend it out, pack a bit more on, blend it out, rather than like just going in all at once, because it's so much easier to add product rather than to try and remove it and try and blend it out. So as you can see, I was packing color and blending it out many times before I got to where I wanted it to be. I then repeated the same steps I did on the top to my bottom lash line, and again I kept it on the outer half of my lower lash line, not all the way inside. So I started off with the true Morphe shades, and make sure these are blended out very well. And then I went in with the orange shade from the Morphe palette, and then the orange MAC shade, and then the Maybelline brown shade. So literally exactly what you did on the top, you do on the bottom. And also you want to connect it to the top so it's not like separated and it's all blends together as one. Oh, also the darker you go with the colors, the less you blend it out, and also the darker you go, the more to the outer corner you keep it. So like with the lighter shades, I went into half of the lower lash line, but then with the darker shade, I left it just at the very end. And then with the color I just pointed out, this was also the Morphe 35W palette. I sprayed my brush with some Fix Plus, and I'm packing that on in the inner half of my eye. As you can see, this is a very easy eye look. So it's just a very simple look. Mainly I was focusing on the lips and the skin. Oh, and then I pointed at the color that I used, and I put that in the inner corner and just a bit on the brow bone. I didn't want the brow bone to be too highlighty, so yeah. I also put that color in the inner half of the lower lash line. And then curling my lashes to prep them for mascara, and today I'm using the Maybelline 1x1 mascara, so I'm applying a lot of that. And then with this brown pencil eyeliner from MAC, I'm putting that in my tight line and my waterline. And then with the lips, I showed using this Makeup Forever lip liner, but I ended up trying so many lipsticks and the camera just shut off while I was doing it, but the information will be down below. So this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed or learned something new. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!